Yeah, they went with irresponsible reporting yesterday. And meanwhile, as we've been saying all morning, they seem to be ignoring that Trump clearly appears to have had a stroke. I mean,
yeah. Okay, can we talk about his mouth is off to one side?
Yeah. About the mainstream media, too. Once again, comedians are doing better journalism. I had forgotten some of this stuff that Jimmy Kimmel, this is just a light dusting of stuff Trump has said.
With all these terrible things happening, you would think that our president will at least make an attempt to bring us together, but he didn't. President Obama did. President Biden did. Presidents Bush and Clinton did. President Trump did not. Instead, he blamed Democrats for their rhetoric. The man who told a crowd of supporters that maybe the Second Amendment people should do something about Hillary Clinton. The man who said he wouldn't mind if someone shot through the fake news media. The man who unleashed a mob on the Capitol and said Liz Cheney should face 9-barrel shooting at her for supporting his opponent blames the radical left for their rhetoric.
He was given another chance this morning on Fox and Friends. And Trump said, I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble. I couldn't care less. Radicals on the right are radical because they don't want to see crime. Radicals on the left are the problem, and they're vicious and horrible and politically savvy. They want men and women's sports. They want transgender for everyone, open borders. Worst thing that's ever happened to this country. I went on to say I solved inflation and a bunch of other lies. I mean, and, you know, here we go.
Here's the thing. The moment it happened, I go, where's the National Guard?
Thank you.
Where is
going to Memphis?
You know?
Yeah.
Where is the National Guard? Okay? This is white on white crime. And let me tell you something. It's Republican on Republican crime.
Well,
it doesn't really,
we don't know yet. We don't know. I mean,
I guarantee you.
Yeah, I was going to.
What I know is he was mentally unstable. This person was ill. That I know.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I mean, we were just talking about this. Is this the governor, Chris, the latest?
Yeah.
He said inscriptions on a fired casing read, notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this? I mean, some of this is just crazy. I don't know what it is.
It sounds like online speak for something.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. One said, hey, fascist, catch. Up arrow symbol, right arrow symbol, 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, oh, Bella Ciao. I don't. No. And a third unfired case read, if you read this, you're gay, LMAO. Well, that sounds anti-gay. I don't know. The transgender symbols were later understood to relate to markings identifying the manufacturer, having nothing to do with transgender. Right. I mean, so, again, he was not registered for either party. We wore a Trump costume, I guess, in 2017
that was
for
8
Halloween.
years ago.
Again, I don't think we know yet. But we were saying Laura Loomer was attacking. She just deleted all her posts attacking him for not being
attacking Kirk.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk for not being pro-Trump enough, calling for the release of the Epstein files, etc. So I think you're right, Francis. We don't. I mean, that's the thing. And will they ever tell us if in fact this is someone from the right?
They never want to tell you that it's someone from the right or where they come from. And they're continuously trying to lay this at the door of Democrats. Let me tell you something. Somebody from Chicago didn't sneak into Utah from the south side of Chicago. Didn't sneak into Utah, into their environment with a gun to gun down Charlie Kirk. But what they do get to do is then take that anger and apply it to all the HBCUs.
Yeah.
Well, that's because
not get called on it.
It's because when white people commit crimes, they're not crimes.
That's right.
So when you hear, like, for instance, Charlie Kirk had said in the past that the reason that when there was no crime during Jim Crow, because and the person talking to him said, but there were lynchings, tons of lynchings of black people. That's not crime for them.
That's not crime. Beating your wife,
that's the anti-crime.
It's not a crime.
Yeah.
That's not crime.
Yeah.
So for them, somebody shooting somebody in Utah, well, that's Utah. That's not crime. That's a problem with the radical left.
Yeah.
It's not mental illness. White people don't suffer from the white gaze. We will not look at this problem openly, right?
Yeah.
The white gaze says when it is a white person, the white gaze says by vision. That's what I mean. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of good points online. Nate says blaming the left for Charlie Kirk's killing is an odd choice when the left consistently rallies and protests and votes for stricter gun control to prevent things like this. Sarah, echoing what we're saying, one thing you can be sure of with Kash Patel and Pam Bondi at the helm of the FBI and DOJ, you can't trust a word they say about Charlie Kirk's murder. That's what's really sad, is we're in a place where many of us don't trust Trump, the FBI, the mainstream media. They
liars.
They went with irresponsible reporting yesterday. And meanwhile, as we've been saying all morning, they seem to be ignoring that Trump clearly appears to have had a stroke. I mean,
okay, can we talk about his mouth is off to one side?
Yeah,
really dramatically. I was like, is he okay? Like, are they gonna?
I thought when Chris said yesterday that this was an AI video, him talking about Charlie Kirk, I thought, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. And then everyone that's ever been in video is like, oh,
there's something off with it.
Because then you saw him at the 9/11 thing, and you're like, oh, I mean,
I did watch a short video of him on Fox and Friends this morning. Like, he was sitting on the couch with them. He looked a little better, but one side of his face, it wasn't as saggy as it was at 9/11, but it did look like it was a little bit off.
For any of us, friends, my dad had a stroke. Like, this is where we feel like we're taking crazy pills.
I know.
Someone posted, so the video the White House put out of Trump giving a statement about Kirk is AI. I can and will post more about this, but let's start here. This is what he actually looks like right now, taken this morning at the 9/11 memorial. This man has had at least one stroke. I mean, most people on social media, doctors, other people are and I just feel like it's part of why we don't trust the media.
Well, we can't.
Because they won't ask the questions. They're too afraid. And all the White House media has been replaced by, podcasters.
Right.
But we can't trust when the director of the FBI says they've caught the suspect, and then an hour later is like, we're looking for the suspect.
Yeah.
And then they refuse to tell you that the suspect is even still at large. Like, you can't, that's just in the last, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
These people, we cannot, I think that one of the most alarming things out of this week is how much we know we can't trust our government at any level, at the federal level, and how much we know that the mainstream media is complicit in a lot of this. Because, for example, from something as simple as not showing people booing the president at the U.S. Open.
Oh, yeah. They on Fox and Friends this morning, Ainsley Earhardt said, "Oh, I see you got a very warm reception at Yankee Stadium yesterday." I mean, and the fact that Donald Trump's the one that announced Charlie Kirk's death and then announced they caught the guy on TV, it gives you this feeling of just what is going on. This whole thing feels like a reality show.
Also, I feel like, and I told Angela this on our podcast yesterday, and this is me with my tinfoil hat. It feels like a distraction.
Yeah.
It feels like this was premeditated on the right. This is my opinion from what I am seeing in terms of what is trending. Because I'm telling you, this man and here's the thing, Trump needs a distraction. And this is a good one.
Yeah. We were saying that's what radio was made for. When Marconi invented it, he said this is for mindless speculation.
Yeah, that's what,
you got to fill 3 hours.
That's
so,
what, yeah.
I hate to do this to you, but okay, here's the Republican comparing him to Martin Luther. Okay.
Oh, no.
I apologize.
Oh, stop it. No, no,
okay.
no.
Oh, sorry.
Which one?
13. Yes.
I compared what we are going through right now to 1968 and to the assassination of Martin Luther King. Not because King and
I've heard that
Kirk
comparison.
are... You think it's a fair comparison?
I heard that comparison early date, and I do believe that because you had two non-elected officials that was taking a political stand, and both their voices were silenced or tried to be silenced because of someone's opposing view.
Okay, that was Mark Wayne Mullen, Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen.
Yep.
You're not going to get me to care.
No.
You're not going to get me to care.
No.
You're not going to get me to care about somebody who refused to have empathy for another human being on this earth. Who do I have empathy for? His wife and his children.
Yeah.
I have empathy for
And I'm going to go with the
them.
children more than anybody.
And you know what?
But the reality, nobody
anybody
deserves
who
to be
loved them.
murdered. Yeah, nobody deserves to be murdered, obviously. But to try to elevate this man who preached hate,
That's
divisiveness,
right.
he was misogynist. He quite absolutely is a white supremacist who wanted violence, who believed in political violence, who was cool with the January 6th people who thought they were heroes. When I sit here and I see that all day long, the tone, the hushed tones, and the extreme care that is being taken around the very tragic and wrong murder of this person, when just, was it even 2 months ago? Yeah. When in Minnesota, 2 people were killed and 2 others injured. And then we have a school shooting, yes, actually the same day in Colorado, or the day before, was it? And then, like, they've never flown a flag at half-mast for any of these people.
Yep.
No, for any children.
Mally, and what I have to say this, too, about Charlie Kirk. Release the Epstein files.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to honor Charlie Kirk, that was, he was, couldn't have been clearer about that.
Yeah.
So let me just, Mally on this Martin MLK thing. To the willfully ignorant and morally bankrupt human beings that are comparing Charlie Kirk, of all people, to Martin Luther King, stop. You look foolish. I'm not celebrating this man's death or how he died, but he was not by any means a good person. He went on a tirade about Martin Luther King and how he was a myth and an awful human being and that civil rights was a mistake. Yes, he said it was a mistake. So comparing them, you are showing yourself right now. Keep Martin Luther King's name out of your mouth.
Yes, Charlie Kirk said that the best time for the blacks was Jim Crow, because that's when we were under control. And then we started sending black mobs into white neighborhoods to do the crime. There was no crime when we had Jim Crow. That's Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and so to sit here and tell me as a black woman
I will not.
that how I'm supposed to feel.
No.
That you gonna tone police me?
No.
No, you know what, you can miss me right now, especially with the man that you have elected and all the crimes and letting go of January 6th, people. You can miss me with this faux hurt and outrage. If you're truly hurting that Charlie Kirk was murdered, if he was one of your, I'm sorry for you, okay? Yeah.
But then something about guns.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
But
we're the ones that don't want
to have that conversation.
Yeah, we're the ones, tirelessly campaigning that no one gets a gun. Whether, as I said yesterday, Chris, whether you hate me or you hate Sean Hannity, we're the ones that don't want you to get a gun, to do anything about that with a gun.
Make them debate God. Make them debate Jesus. And this is all the stuff that you guys say that they have a problem with.
Does that work? How does that work on Scott Jennings?
It's quite interesting. I want to tell you about it. I was on CNN with our friend from Kentucky, and he was talking about the illegals. I call them Christian refugees because that makes him angry, Jesus. I do. God of the Hebrew Scriptures commands us to welcome the stranger and treat the alien as one of our own. And Jesus in Matthew 25 says that individuals and nations are going to be judged by how they welcome the stranger. So I had to say on CNN, why should I listen to you and Donald Trump and ignore God and Jesus? How'd I do?
Nice gotcha moment, pulling the Bible out.
Simon & Schuster's Avid Reader Press presents Separation of Church and Hate, the bold, hilarious new book from John Fugelsang, available September 9th and on sale now at your local independent bookstore or your favorite non-evil website.